Are you ready to turn heads? Luxury isn't just worn, it's experienced. Introducing a Layla Cara style and new up-and-coming designer collection where exclusive shoes and bags for men and women meets your feet. How about you take a handbag and wear it in style, where each piece is personally designed by Layla Carroll herself and handcrafted from the finest material in Italy. Leather, smooth like butter, bold, timeless, distinctly you. Step into true elegance and make your mark with a Layla Cara style where confidence meets craftsmanship. Visit a Layla Cara style and experience the luxury of art that you wear. Hey everybody, so I hope that you all had a great Halloween for those of you who celebrate Halloween. So I don't really celebrate Halloween like that, but I do like Halloween. It's kind of what you call it. It's a little odd, but I want to give you some backstory on why it's like that. So when I was a kid, I used to go trick or treat. My mom used to take my brother and I trick or treating, and then all of a sudden she just stopped. And she was like, "Oh, y'all not going trick-or-treating this year." And we was like, as being children, not going trick-or-treating is actually it's disappointing. And so me and my brother was like, why? And then she was like, "Oh, that's the devil's holiday." And we was like, "What?" And we didn't understand what she meant by that. She was like, "Everything on Halloween is just evil." And she kept saying that. And she was like, "So I guess what I do for y'all is just buy you candy, and that's it. I'm not buying you no costume, none of that, no Halloween costume, none of that. You just candy." Well, I would go to school the next day, and I would see the kids with so much candy, and they would talk about the trick-or-treating, and I was so sad about it. So the next year, my brother and I decided to do some things on our own. So my brother's like a year and 10 months older than me. So I always say 2 years older than me because I'm like, what's the difference within the extra 2 more months? So he say, "You know what? How about we go trick-or-treating and we don't tell mom about it? And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to take one bag," because we didn't have like buckets and stuff like that, Halloween baskets. We didn't have that underneath that. Remember, keep in mind, this is in the 80s, you guys. So we didn't have that. We had bags. We had like those brown garbage bags that you got from the grocery store, and we drew like some eyes on the bag, make it looking like a jack-o'-lantern and everything. So we was like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. You're going to go to the house first, and then you're going to be like, "Trick or treat." You're going to knock on the door, and they're going to give you some candy. And then you're going to give me that same bag, and then I'm going to go back to that same house, and then I'm going to knock on the door, and I'm like, "Trick or treat." They're going to give us some more candy. We did that. Let me tell you, we did that. And we had so much candy after we was done going to all the houses in the neighborhood. We had so much candy. We was trying to hide it from our mom, so we decided to hide it underneath the bed because we didn't want her to know. And she was like, "Where y'all getting all this candy from?" Because we was eating the candy in front of her. And we was like, "Oh, we just got it from our friends." No, we lying and everything. "Oh, we got it from our friend." And she was like, "Something ain't right. Something ain't right." So she went to snooping around like when we wasn't there. We was out at school. So she goes in our bed. Well, she went in my brother's bedroom because that's where he had the candy at, in his bedroom underneath his bed. And she saw that candy and she was mad. Oh, she was mad. So when we got home from school, we saw the bag sitting on the table and we knew we was in trouble instantly. And I was like, okay. So I'm not gonna lie now because I'm busted. But my brother, on the other hand, he wants to keep lying, knowing that he's busted. He still want to keep lying, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So she's like, y'all went trick or treating, didn't you? And we was like, and I say, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Somebody gave us that. No, we went trick or treating, Mom. Yes, we did. I'm telling it. Yes, I'm the youngest. I'm telling it. I'm telling it. He told me to go take that bag and go knock on the door. And then he took the same bag and went knocked on the same door. And I'm just telling it all, man. Because I didn't want to get in trouble. You know, I'm like, I don't want to get a whooping. Because my mom, she was the spanking kind. She didn't believe in go to the time out and all that. Nah, time out for that time out. So she was like, nah, I'm taking all this candy. And we was so mad. I was like, no, Mom, no. You don't take us trick-or-treating and the candy that you buy is not enough. You get one little bag of candy and that's it. That's not right. Our friends have all the candy. And she was like, you know what? If your teeth rotting out, then your teeth rotting out. Here you go. Take the candy. Eat the candy. And if you get sick, then you get sick. So you're going to learn. You're going to learn your hard way or you're going to learn to listen. So she gave us back our candy. We were so happy. And we had that candy spread all over the living room floor. And I was like, yeah, yeah. And he was like, my brother like, yeah. And, you know, we still don't understand the moral of the story. We didn't understand what she was talking about. We didn't get it until we had our own kids. Now I understand why she was like she was. So my son, I don't let him go trick-or-treating. And it's not because I say, oh, it's the devil's holiday. No, I don't trust people. I don't trust people to be honest anymore about what it is that they're doing with these candy and these stuff that they give these kids. Or better yet, I don't want to expose my son to a pedophile that didn't know that he was around, that didn't realize that he was in the neighborhood, and now he's exposed and that pedophile come looking for him or start trying to scope where we live at. So I just don't. And that's the way I think. That's my mindset, you know? So I'm like, nope, we're not going trick-or-treating. I will buy you a costume. So that way you'll still be able to dress up. And he was able to wear that costume to school because they had a Halloween party at school. And he was able to wear that. So I said, see, you still get to wear your costume. It's not, I didn't buy it for nothing. And I buy you some candy and we'll sit and watch Halloween movies. So I love horror movies. I enjoy watching horror movies. They're not the same like they used to be anymore though. But I enjoy it. So I enjoy my time spending with my son, and we'll watch Michael Myers. He loves Halloween like I do, and Michael Myers Halloween is my favorite Halloween movies to watch, and then Friday the 13th, and then of course Nightmare on Elm Street. I just introduced him to Friday the 13th. You see, my son is 10, so he knew about Jason Voorhees, but he never knew about the actual movie, because he had been watching some of these crazy little stuff on YouTube, and they have the characters of Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees, and he knows them that way. And I say, oh, you don't know the real story about the Jason Voorhees? I said, nah, I have to introduce you to the real Jason Voorhees. I'm gonna let you watch Friday the 13th, and then you'll get a chance to see the real. So he watched Jason versus Freddy. I let him watch Jason versus Freddy, and he said, oh, this is gross, because he thinks the things that Freddy Krueger was doing was very gross. I said, yeah, he's gross. I said, you ain't seen nothing yet. If you watch Nightmare on Elm Street, you'll definitely see how gross he is. So he wasn't scared. He just was grossed out with it, talking about, oh, this is just nasty. And I was like, yeah. So we had a good time on Halloween watching our scary movies, and eating food and stuff like that. Those are things I enjoy doing with him. So I hope you guys had a good Halloween. And, I wish that we could have a feedback where I could talk to you. You could talk to me and you can tell me about your Halloween and how it went, and also your childhood Halloween adventures and how it was for y'all. But, if you do want to hit me up and talk, the best way to reach me will be on my website, and you can write a review on how you feel about the podcast. And the website is imagingcoaching.com. The link is also in the description. So just click on that and you get a chance to talk to me. Let's chat it up. Let's converse with each other. So today's topic is about the real truth about going into business for yourself. I want to talk a little about that. So everyone knows that if you work for yourself, the saying is that you do what you love to do, then you'll never work a day in your life. That's actually true, but it's also not true. Because you have to work to get to the point where you want to be at, so you don't have to work a day in your life. So when you start off in a business, it's not easy. It's very tough. And sometimes it's what you call intimidating. And it can become to a point where you start second guessing yourself, wondering if you made the right choice, if you made the right decision, and if it's something that you choose to want to continue, or maybe you should just cut it off and say, I don't want to. So they say a successful business is a business that make it past the first 5 years. And I understand that. I definitely get it. And then you got the ones where they say most business fail in the first 5 years. Yeah, that's true. That is the truth. So
we'll be back after a quick break.
If you haven't already, check out my luxury shoe and bag collection, a Layla Carroll style. Each piece is personally designed by me and handcrafted from genuine Italian leather. Whether you're dressing up or keeping it casual, these pieces were made to help you walk with confidence. Because real style starts from how you feel. Go to alaylacarrollstyle.com and experience these bold, timeless, and completely all you. Check it out. You might find something you like. I'm sipping on some coffee, so I know it seems like I'm pausing here and there, but that's because I'm drinking my coffee and I don't want it to get cold. So excuse me when I do that. This is raw footage, and I don't really do a whole lot of editing in my video and my audio podcast. I like to keep things authentic because I feel like when things are authentic, you get the realness of a person, and I am very transparent, and I'm one of the ones that like to be open about things and letting you know the truth about something. And that's what this actual podcast today is about. It's about the truth about going into business for yourself and the things that I have encountered and the things that I have learned throughout this process. So it's almost a year. January the 1st of 2024 would be 1 year for me being in business with imaging coaching. And I want to talk about my experience so far and my thoughts on what I feel and how I feel about my business, and also how I feel about people when it comes to my business. And my experience is definitely something I want to share because I have learned some things that have shocked me and had also kind of discouraged me a little bit. But then I realized that nothing worth having is going to come easy anyway. So if it came easy, then it wasn't meant for me to have. And because it's not coming easy for me, that I know for sure that this is meant for me to have, and I'm not going to stop. I'm a fighter. I'm the type of person that if it's something that I really want, Oh, I don't have no problems going the distance to get it. And whatever that distance may be, I don't have no problem with doing it. I will do it as long as it's legal and it is not something that is degrading and it doesn't go against my morals. So, going into business for myself, when I decided to go into business, I had no idea that I was actually going to turn what I do into a business. I have been coaching people for quite some time. Imaging coaching. I have been doing it for free. People will call me with their problems and they will ask me questions about what they thought. They want to vent first. The first thing they want to do is vent. They just want to get it out. And I will listen to them and let them talk and say whatever they want to say. And I'm like, okay, after I have heard enough, then I would tell them my questions always have been, what you going to do about it? Because we're not just going to talk and there's nothing that you're going to do, because nothing is going to change if you're going to continue to let things be the same. Something have to change for things to change. So what are you going to do about it? Or what do you want to do about it? Because if you don't know what you're going to do, then what would you like to do? And then they will go on and they will say some more things about, I would like to do this and I would like to do that. And I'm like, what's stopping you? Oh, I have a lot of questions. What's stopping you? What is keeping you from doing? Let's get to the root of the problem, what the issue is, because I want to know what is stopping you. And I want you to say it so you can hear yourself saying it. Because when you say it, it becomes reality at that point. So I did this for some years, and I'm not talking about 3, 4, 5 years. I'm talking about over 30 years I have been coaching people. Yes, I am 45 years old. I was always told that I had an old soul. I have had elder women talking to me about a lot of things growing up, and my grandmother was definitely one of them. And I have learned from watching older women as well as men do the things that they do and not have any progress in their lives. And I always question, what is it that they're doing wrong? Why is it year after year they're repeating the same things? Why isn't things changing for them? And then I have finally came up with the solution, because they don't want to change. They don't want help. They only love to talk about their problems, and that is that. And they don't want to make any progress on changing the things in their lives because it is just too much work for them. When you're going to change, it requires work on your part. You cannot change by not doing anything. You must do something. There's something in your grasp that you must do for things to change in your life. You want to turn around? Then you're going to have to turn around. Because there's no way you're going to turn around if you don't turn around. You're going to keep going in the direction that you're going in until you put a stop on what you're doing, hit the brakes, turn that steering wheel, which is your legs and your mind. Your mind is what it really starts at, because be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Even the scriptures tell you that. The scripture says to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that is in the book of Romans. You must change your mind to change your reality. Once you have changed your mind, then everything else starts to change around you and for you. So that's where I started from. That was my beginning point. And over the years, I would have people come to me and they would ask so many questions about their lives, and almost like I was just a genie that had the answer, or to put it like I was a wizard that had the answer for them. Now, sometimes I would have the answer, and then there's times I did not have the answer. But what I know is that no matter if I had the answer or not, they did not want to put in the work to make the changes that they needed for themselves. So let's fast forward. Let's go on into the future. As I continue to help people understand the reality and nature of themselves, it's not always the person that or the people that you're dealing with. It's actually you. I'm a firm believer in the common denominator. Who is the common denominator in the situation? And most of the time, the common denominator is the person who's telling me the story about what's happening in their lives and what's happening to them, because they are the only person that keeps showing up in these situations. Different people, same person that it's happening to. Something's going on with you. We need to find out what is happening with you to make these changes, for things to change. So I had this one client, and I call her a client because she's still a client of mine to this day, and she signed up for imaging coaching and everything. And her situation was typical, something that most of us go through, especially women, dealing with men, dealing with self-esteem issues, and dealing with finance. Okay. Do we all go through those problems, ladies? Yes, we do. So, but the problem was with her was that hers went a little deeper. She went into depression. Okay. So now we are actually dealing with a problem, and we need to help her to come out of this depression. And that's what I did for her. I say I did for her because I knew that she needed one-on-one coaching, and it needed to be something that was ongoing, not a one-time thing. And that's what I did for her. I helped her to see herself better than what she has been seeing herself, so she can have more esteem about herself, to understand that she's worthy of better than what she was getting. Well, I'll put it like this, what she was subjecting herself to. Now, I listen to her talk, totally different conversation, totally different thought process. And she is like, I'm like, did I create a monster here? Oh, hold up now. She got some confidence. I love this person already. I've been loving her before that. But this is new. This is a new person here. And so I decided, now what I do, let me turn this into a business, because this is my calling. This is my purpose of life. My purpose is to help individuals to deal with stress, because the whole part of the reason why she was the way she was is because she was stressing. We stress in such a way that we don't even know that we're stressing, but we also stress in such a way to where we know it, and then we don't do anything about it. And it's like we allow ourselves to continue to stay in it, and then it become chronic and ongoing, and it never stops. So January 2023 of this year, I decided to turn what I do naturally into a business, because I felt like I can actually get paid for this, because other people who do coaching, they get paid for it. So why can't I? When I made the decision to get my LLC, I had no idea how things was going to really go for me. I sought out just getting my LLC. And then I started doing more digging, and I started realizing that I needed more than an LLC. I needed to have a registered agent. I needed to have a business bank account. I needed to have insurance. I needed to have some coaching of myself, business coaching for myself. I did all those things. I signed up for a business coach who's going to be my coach for 6 years. and that came with the package that I had purchased. So I can call him up at any time and get some coaching from him. And then, of course, all the material that he had provided me with on learning the ins and out of doing business, as well as taxes, because that was my biggest thing. I didn't know about the taxes, how that worked, and I didn't want to get in a situation where tax season comes up, which is actually coming up now, and I was lost, and I was like a deer in headlights. And I'm trying to figure out what is happening here. Why do I owe this, or why is I'm not getting that? I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. I take it to a CPA and they tell me this. I didn't want none of those things to happen. So what I end up doing, I started educating myself on taxes throughout the entire year from February, from March 2023 all the way until now, and continue. I educated myself on taxes, business taxes, all these different taxes, and as far as expenses, profit, revenue, I wanted to know it all. The return on investments, I want to know it all. So I talked to my coach advisor over the phone, and he started explaining to me the difference between the LLC that I have and how I could turn it into an S corp. But I was thinking, is that the right thing for me to do? Because right now I am a sole proprietor LLC, and I didn't even know that you can actually exist. I thought it was like you gonna be a sole proprietorship by yourself, meaning that you're pretty much self-employed. But I signed up for LLC, and that's what it says, limited liability company. But when I got this letter in the mail and I'm in the state of Texas, so they said, based on your entity, you are going to have to pay franchise taxes. I was like, what is franchise taxes? What is that? I don't even know nothing about that. Franchise tax. I don't own a franchise. But then I dig deeper and I realized that's a luxury tax. And I say, oh, so I have to pay luxury taxes? And I was so confused about this, to where I was trying to understand, like, did I get myself in something that I wasn't prepared for, or I wasn't ready for? Am I making a mistake here? Now I understand why most businesses fail in the first 5 years, because I felt like they set you up to fail. They want to take all your money before you even make money. So what's the point of me going into business if I'm going to have to pay y'all before I even make any money? That's how I was feeling, and that's how I was thinking. But then when I continued to educate myself, I tell you, education is very important, you guys, because the more you know, the better you off. So I started using my research skills, because I'm very good at research. That's one of the things that my ex-boss supervisor used to always commend me on. He's always say, one thing I know about you, Layla, if you don't know something, you sure know how to find the answer to it. And I was like, I'm finna find out what is happening with this situation that I'm in, because I don't want to have to get in over my head and owe $15,000 and $20,000 and $80,000 for taxes that I know I cannot pay. I am still a regular employee for the airlines. I still work for airlines. So, and I'm keeping my day job until I start making some profit and revenue enough to where I can support myself and my family on with this business imaging coaching. So you can look online, you can be on social media, and you can see all these things that they talk about on social media, like they just balling out of control. They make it look glamorous because they're like, yeah, I own my own business, I'm my own boss. And what they don't tell you is the struggle that they're going through being their own boss. They want it to look like they doing very well. People want to make you think that they're doing so well in their business that you need to be envious and jealous of them, when the reality of it is that they're not doing that well. They are struggling. They are having backlashes. They are dealing with taxes that they are struggling to pay for. They are having issues in their company dealing with needing the help and hiring and firing people and having these employees who's taken from them and all that. So I'm going to tell you, so here in Houston in the Galleria, I went to the Galleria looking for this one particular business called Press, and that's owned by Rashida and Kurt Frost from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And I had been in that boutique for a while. I had been going there for a while. I never bought anything because most of their clothes is not the type of clothes that, it's a clothing store, by the way. Most of her clothes is clothes that I usually don't. Those are club clothes. Her clothes in that particular shop was club clothes, what I saw. Now, if I was still in my clubbing days, those clothes would have been perfect for me because I love to show off my curves and my silhouettes and all that. But I don't do that anymore. I'm past that stage, way past that stage. I'm more of let me cover up, but I can still let you know I got these curves, baby. So I decided, let me go to this store and talk to them about some things business-wise. But I couldn't find the store. And I walked up and down the Galleria Mall looking for that store. Then I got on the little monitor that they have that shows you where every store is at. And I still could not find it. And I say, are they still here? I mean, I don't understand what's going on. And then there was two ladies who walked up to the same monitor and they was looking for Press. And they say, I think Press is this way. And they was like, well, let's check the monitor. Then they looked and they said, well, I don't see Press on there. And I said, I don't see it on there either. And they was like, wow, okay, it was here last week. I said, yeah, it was here last week. Well, to make a long story short, I had to get my coffee. So to make a long story short, I was watching Boss Move on television, Rashida. And yeah, I know I'm plugging her in, so y'all can probably go and watch her and everything. But I'm trying to relate this to a story of why I'm connecting the dots to this, to why I'm talking about the business wise. So no matter how long you've been in business, you still have problems. So when I was watching her show, she was helping a young lady, and the young lady was in the same business that she was in, clothing business, fashion business, and she was talking about the struggles that she was having. She was asking Rashida for advice and what to do and all those things, and then Rashida was giving her advice, and then she made a comment about the store in Houston at the Galleria Mall. She said, I had to close it down. And I said, I knew they closed down. I figured that's what happened. Because at first I was thinking, like, maybe they moved it to another location. But she said, no, I had to close it down because I wasn't able to be physically at that store like I am physically here in Atlanta at the store Press here. I can come to the store Press here anytime, every single day. But Houston, I'm not there. And I didn't have great management to manage my store. She said my mom used to go there and help manage it, but now she's not able to do that. So the manager that I hired wasn't really taking charge of the store like she should have. But what was happening was that my inventory was coming up missing. So basically, they were stealing from her. That's what was going on, because inventory don't come up missing. Inventory get stolen, get taken, and we know that's what people do. That's what employees do. That's what management do. If you have something that they need or they want and they don't want to go to the store and buy it themselves, or they don't want to buy it from you, they're going to take it because it's right there in their hands and their grasp to do that. So she said I had to close it down. And she said, people don't take care of your stuff like you do because that's your baby. press is my baby, not theirs. So they're not going to care like I care. And she's right. They're not going to care like you do. So since I have started Imaging Coaching LLC, and I also have Imaging Coaching Style. So Imaging Coaching Style is my DBA off of Imaging Coaching LLC. I got the DBA because I knew that I didn't want to only just do life coaching and to be only doing a service business. I also wanted to sell products. And the products that I sell on Imaging Coaching Style is brand. I have my brand t-shirts. Yes, I have t-shirts. I have hoodies. I have sweaters. I have coats and jackets. Right now is a great time to get a coat. If you in a cold climate. See, in Houston, it be hot most of the time in the summer. I mean, in the winter. We barely get a winter here. But when we do get a winter, it's cold. When we do get a few cold spells, we need a coat too. But for those of you in the north or somewhere in another part of the world that is cold, if you need a coat, go to Imaging Coaching. Go to Imaging Coaching /shop. That's SHOP, and get you a coat. It'll come straight to you. If you give me the right address, if you put the right address in there, it's going to come straight to you. But it's my image. It's my brand. It has Imaging Coaching on there. And it's my brand. Just like Nike have a brand. Just like Reeboks have a brand. Felines have a brand. Yeah, I said Felines, and Felines is really not out like that anymore. But still, it still was a brand. Fubu. You know Fubu. The man from Shark Tank. Yeah, that was a brand. And just like Gucci and Prada and all those, they all brands. So I'm just one of the brands too. Imaging Coaching. I'm just getting started. I'm a startup company. I'm just getting started. In this process of me getting started, I started feeling like, okay, I have a following on social media, which is Facebook. So I have 2 Facebook pages. And on the pages combined, it's about 20,000. I know it's not. I'm not in the millions like most of you guys who are viral and creators and content creators as well as what you call that influencers and all that. That's not me. I try, but hey, I have 20,000 followers. So if I have 20,000 followers, I feel that if I post some of my material or my business on Facebook, that all 20,000 of them should see it. Over time, I started looking at the numbers and the views, and I wasn't seeing enough numbers and views. I'm like, what's going on? I started getting concerned about it because I didn't understand why I have 20,000 followers for both pages combined, and nobody is seeing my stuff. No one is viewing my stuff. No one is clicking like or anything on my stuff. Is something wrong? And then I started paying attention to the fact that my mom posts every day about the things that she's interested in, which is politics and history. She loved history. And so she always posting those type of things every single day. And I don't see her stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. Because she called me one day and she said, did you see the post that I posted on Facebook? I said, no, I didn't see anything. And that's when it came to me. What's happening with Facebook? Facebook ain't the same anymore. It used to be where if you post something, if the person was a friend of yours or a follower of yours, they will automatically see it. But that's not the case anymore. Facebook have gotten to a point where if you don't have a certain amount of traffic coming to your post or nothing, people are not going to see it. Basically, they're blocking you from being seen. And I was like, what in the world? So I started trying to put the things in the groups that they have on there, because I'm in a lot of groups too. And then Facebook said, we're restricting you. We're putting a restriction on your account. You can't post in the group anymore. And I'm like, even my own group? I have my own groups, and you tell me I can't post in those? And they was like, no. you got 24 hours that you cannot post in a group. And then it went from that to 48 hours. And I was like, wow, so I'm being blocked from getting my information out there, from letting people know about me. I'm being blocked. And it's sad because I've been on Facebook since 2010 when they kind of started opening it up to the public, because at first it was only for college students. And I'm saying to myself, dang, this is how it became. This is where we at now. So, and that's where most of my followers are at. You know, I'm new to TikTok. I just got on TikTok. So I'm still trying to build that situation up. And Twitter, I don't like Twitter. Never really did. I'm on Twitter, but Twitter is more of what are you doing today? That kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay. And then they only give you 40 characters to write. And I'm like, okay, this ain't even working for me either. And then Instagram, at the time when I got on Instagram, it was only photos. You couldn't really do videos. Now you can do videos, but I'm still trying to build my following up on Instagram too. So Facebook is where a majority of my followers are at. And I'm like, I'm having problems with that. And then I have LinkedIn. Well, I had LinkedIn. LinkedIn suspended my account. And I don't even know why. It's all of a sudden, I had LinkedIn when I first started LinkedIn. I was in college, and the professor was the one that told us to get LinkedIn. So when I got it, I just only created the account, but I wasn't really using it. And I had about 700 followers on there, and most of those people I knew, like my bosses that I was working with, co-workers, those type of people, even some classmates. But then, of course, I no longer work for the company of Hewlett Packard because everyone at the company got laid off, including the bosses that I had, all of them, everyone. They closed the factory down. So I still had the LinkedIn account with the same people. I started recently trying to use it for my business to get awareness, to bring awareness for imaging coaching. And then they sent me an email talking about, we don't think this is you. You ain't the same person. We don't believe that this account belongs to you, and shut me down. And then asked me to verify myself. And I sent them a picture of my driver's license and showing them that it's me, even my passport, and showing them it's me. And they still did not reinstate my account. So I said, you know what is happening here? It feels like I'm being attacked on the opposite side of the world. Like, now, and I ain't talking about over there in Europe or Australia or Africa. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about in the other realm. I'm talking about the spiritual realm, because, you know, the scripture says that we have to be, well, let me find that. It's Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10, and they talk about wickedness in high places. And we're not fighting against flesh and blood, but against evil principalities and rulers of high places. Yeah, that's what I feel. That's exactly how I feel. I feel like I'm being attacked by demonic forces, because why all of a sudden now, when I decided to do this with my business and all this negative started coming my way? I was fine before I started trying to promote my business. Soon when I started promoting this business, all this stuff that I can't control started happening. And like, I can't control if I'm going to be able to be on LinkedIn. I can't control if my social media are going to reach people. So that says right there that I am being stopped by something other than human. Yeah, humans are the ones being used to do this, but it's more to it. And yes, I do go deep into things like that because I know it exists. Like, if you would be blind to believe that we're here by ourselves and there's no other force that's around us that's influencing us. Don't go there to think that we're all here by ourselves and we just magically appeared on this earth, or this earth just magically just got here. No, that's not it. So that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to get into that. I want to talk about the business part of my situation and how things has been going for me for this year. So this year, 2023, I have not made a profit. Nope, I have not made a profit. And I have 2 clients, and not one person have bought anything from my e-commerce store. Not one person. And thinking about that makes me feel like, you know what? I'm just in over my head. Let me just shut it down. But I said, I'm not shutting nothing down. I'm going to keep going because this is my passion. This is what I do. And I also said to myself that if I was to shut it down, would I keep coaching people? And the answer was yes. You're still going to keep coaching people. People still going to call you to want. And I said to myself, who are the people that's calling me? Why are they calling me? And to come to find out, as I took my inventory, most of them are family members and friends and co-workers. People who, and then some of them are people who just met me. Like, I don't know you. You don't know me. We just started having a conversation. You felt comfortable enough to open up to me about what's happening with you. And I shared some information with you. And now you're talking to me about everything. So, for example, my AC at the house was leaking water on the inside. Water supposed to drip on the outside, but it started filling up the tank, the little pan and stuff that's supposed to catch the water, and it started dripping all the way down to the floor because it's in the attic. And so my husband called for a AC electrician tech to come and take a look at it and fix it. Well, he had to be at work, so I was home and my son was at home. And this was during the summertime, so the guy shows up. He's on the phone talking to his baby mama. How do I know it's his baby mama? Because he told me later on that it was his baby mama. And she kept calling him the whole time while he's at work, and I could hear him say, "Hey, I'm working. I got to call you back." But his phone volume was loud. He didn't have her on a speaker, but the volume was so loud that it sounded like she was on speaker, and I could hear the things she was saying. And I'm like, is he going to get this job done, or he going to be sitting there talking to her and being distracted? So this is a time when if you're working, put that phone on mute so you don't hear that phone ringing, and then answer those calls. And so he got to doing his job. He said, "Excuse me, I'm so sorry for this and all that." So he started doing his job. He started doing everything he needed to do, and he let us know what the problem was and how it's going to need to be fixed and all that yada yada stuff. As he was done, and he started walking out the house, going into the front of the house, getting ready to leave, he said, "I'm so sorry. That was my baby mama. I don't even know what to do with her. I have custody of my kid. Well, I ain't gonna say I have custody, but my child been living with me for about 3 years, and she's mad at me because I've been claiming my child on the taxes, and she been trying to claim our kid on the taxes, and she ended up claiming the child this year on the taxes, which backfired on her because they asked her to see some school records, and they wanted to make sure the child was what address the child was using. My child was using my address because she lives with me, and I'm just stressed out, and this is just bothering me. And then I'm like, okay. So he's telling me everything that I didn't ask for. And okay. And he's like, "Oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. And this is just too much." And I said, "Oh, okay." So I told him, I say, "It's funny that you're telling me that you're stressed out because I'm a life coach and I help people reduce their stress levels. This is what I do. And in your situation, I can give you some pointers on what to do to stop what she's doing from happening again." And I gave him some information about getting a lawyer. If you are taking care of your kid and you don't have full custody, but yet she's been with you for 3 years, it's time for you to go to court, baby. Even though you might not want to get these people involved in your life, but the way she's going about it, they're getting in your life. And if she's trying to file taxes for a kid that doesn't live with her and she's not taken care of, and you filing taxes for that same child, somebody's going to get in trouble here. So to keep yourself from getting in trouble, you're going to have to lawyer up, and let's get to the bottom line and start getting this situation controlled, because you're going to get a lot more coming to you in this situation, in this manner, if you don't take control of it before it takes control of you. Anyways, that's how that happened. And that's how it have been happening to me, with people just coming up to me and telling me all about the issues and the problems and all that. And I say, I guess I'm built for this, because I understand. And not only that I understand, I want to understand. I want to help you. I want to get to the bottom of what's happening to you. See, I'm a root digger. I like to dig the root out of things, because I know that once you dig the root out of something, it won't grow back. It can't grow back because there's no roots for it to grow. And that's what I do. I get to the root problems of things. I dig into the dirt and I get it out. So, in this time of this year that I have been building my company, so I know the first year is always the roughest year. Everyone don't get where they want to be at in the beginning. Oh, excuse me. Everyone don't get to where they want to be at in the beginning. Now, some people might, because they have all the capital that they need. They have the people, the influencing, the channels that they need, like those who are on reality shows. You got a platform to let us know about the things that you do. There's no way I would have known about Rashida Frost if she wasn't on a reality show, because I watched the reality show, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Guess what? Now I'm going to know about your business. Oh, you here in Houston? Let me go check you out. You see what I'm saying? And then I see her rocking her brand every time, because every time she's on the show, she's showing the items of her clothing because she wears them. And I'm like, that's cute. I like that on her. That's nice. And then I'm like, let me go check out and see what else she have. So that's easy for someone like her, due to the fact that she have a platform where viewers are watching. Now, someone like me, the only platform that I know that I have is social media. But then I also have my job as a flight attendant. I see people all the time, but I can't rock my outfits, my t-shirts and my sweaters and now I can do my coats, because we do wear coats. But the point I'm making is that I'm in uniform. I'm in their uniform when I'm working. So it's not like I can show off what I have. And then I don't like to bother the passengers about my business when I'm working, because I'm about repping the airline, not about myself. So that's the difficult part about that. Then I have some people, like this one guy. He was a CPA. He was on the flight. He was on one of my flights. He went to the laboratory, to the restroom, and then he came out, and I was in my galley, and I was there talking to the other flight attendant. And he asked, "Do y'all have a retirement fund?" That's what he asked. Do y'all have stock here in this company? So that was an opening for me to tell him about my business. See what I'm saying? So I wait for those type of opportunities to do that. And I say, yes, we do have stock, and we do have retirement fund, and I do have retirement and 401k here in this company and everything. I said, but that's not the only thing that I do. And he said, oh, so what else did you do? I said, I just started a company. It's called Imaging Coaching. I gave him a business card, because yes, I carry my business cards with me everywhere I go. And I said, so this is what I do. If you ever get a chance, check me out go to my website, and it explains everything that I do. But let me tell you a little bit about myself. I said, so I'm a life coach. I help people reduce their stress, and I like to make sure that the things that I offer you is going to be helpful and beneficial to you. And he said, so are you registered? I said, yeah, it's an LLC. And he said, what about a business account? I said, yep, I have my business account. And he said, okay, so do you have a tax person to do your taxes and everything? I said, yeah, I have a licensed CPA. He's my coach. He's my My business coach, I signed up for him. I just signed up for him. So he's helping me with my taxes and stuff like that. He said, man, you are already prepared. He said, well, how about I give you my business card? So just in case you change your CPAs, and you can probably, have another person in mind. And we exchanged information. He ended up sending me a email while he was on the flight, and to letting me know, this is me, and I'm letting you know that I am looking into your stuff, and if you are willing and you decide that you want to change your CPA, I am a licensed CPA, been doing it for about 20 years, and he started going on and on about what he does, and I say, that's a great connection. So that's the good part about what I do as flying. I get to meet different people who do different things. This is a startup company. I am just getting started. So I have to make sure I keep telling myself, don't give up. You're going to get there. Don't rush, because if you rush, you're going to find yourself overwhelmed. So just do things along the way to get you to the next level. So every day when I wake up, I'm telling myself, what are you going to do today that's going to help you get to the next level? So I put together this program called the Stress Eliminator Program. Instead of me always being present physically with the person to help coach them, I needed something that would help coach them without me being present. So let's say, for instance, you're on the other side of the world, you're in a different time zone than me. How am I going to be able to be physically present with you if it's 2:00 in the morning my time and I need to be getting some sleep because I got to get up at 4:00 in the morning to go work a flight, or whatever it may be, I'm sleeping. And then it's 2:00 in the afternoon, your time. So I created this program called the Stress Eliminator. You can go to the website to sign up. So with the Stress Eliminator program, I walk you through different techniques that you can use to reduce your stress level, from exercises to meditation to progressive muscle relaxation meditation to help relax your every part of your body, from your toes to your fingers to your face and neck, back, shoulders, everything. And from Tai Chi to Qigong, different type of techniques. I even teach you about what stress does to your body in the reading that I do for you. Matter of fact, it's on this podcast too. All those things, I made sure that it is available for you. And the price is not expensive. It's very affordable. So, and I also have a coupon where you can get 30% off that price to make it even cheaper than what it is, even more affordable than what it is. And then the good thing about this program is yours for life. You get to keep it for the rest of your life. So let's say, for instance, that you start on it the minute that you purchase and sign up for the program, and a week go by and you're doing it every single day. Then the very next week come up, some things happen where you don't have time to do it, and you're like, oh, I'm busy, I can't get to it. That's fine, because you're still gonna pick up where you left off at. You go right on back to the ones that you didn't get to do from where you left off at, and then you continue with doing it that way. There's no set time that it needs to be done. It's just you have to follow the steps to get it done. Now, say for instance that you don't like a particular exercise. You can skip that exercise and you can do something else. You can do the ones that you like. Let's say, for instance, that you don't like any other exercise except for one. You only can just do that one. As long as it's helping you to reduce your stress levels, that is the one that is working for you, then that's the one you do. And then you do it until it's no longer working for you. And then you find something else that is working for you. That's what the program is all about. It's about helping you get to a place where you can get control of the amount of stress that you allow into your life. Now, we all have to deal with stress at some point, right? There's no way around it. But learning to gain control over it learning how to reduce the effects that it have on you is the most important thing about the program. It's the most important thing about what I do as a coach, as a life coach. I am here to help you to help yourself. Now you have to do the work. If you don't do the work, you're not going to get results. Things are not going to change for you. You're going to have the same situation happen to you over and over again. Now, what have I experienced with my business so far? So I had to be more creative in getting my information out there to the people because social media is blocking me the way I need it. So let me tell you what happened. I got a message from Facebook saying if you want audience to see this content that you created, pay X amount of dollars and then it will reach X amount of people. And I say, I gotta pay to get people to see my posts now? Oh, y'all something else. I'm gonna be broke before I even get started trying to get people to see my posts. And then the problem is with that, yeah, people will see it, but then they won't take any action. A lot of people don't take action. They just see your stuff and they like, yeah. So for instance, I went to go eat lunch with a long friend of mine that we haven't seen each other in a long time. And I was telling her about my business because she asked me, what have you been up to and all that. I told her about my business. And she said, oh yeah, I saw it on Facebook. She said, I didn't know what it was though. I didn't know what it was about. And I said, but I've been telling you what it was about the whole time. She said, I'm not gonna lie to you. She said, I usually don't even watch all that stuff. I don't watch hardly anything on social media. I look at it for a little while and then I cut it off, or I just see it and then I just keep strolling. So I'm just a stroller. She said, I'm more of a stroller. And I said, good information to know, because now that I know that most people don't even really pay attention to what they see, they just happen to see it, but they don't go into it deep enough to listen, to figure it out or find out what things are about, then I don't feel so bad. This is not on me. This is on the person who just don't pay attention. So I decided to make some flyers, putting more information into the flyer. And I go out into my community here in Houston and I get in close and personal in people's faces. I'll be in Walmart and I see somebody that look like they could be a potential client. I say, hey, how you doing? My name is Alayla. I want to give you one of my flyers. I want to tell you about what I do. And I have my shirt on that says Imaging Coaching, Stress Management. And I let them know. I say, look, I am a life coach. I help people deal with the stress management, to deal with stress, to reduce your stress levels. And I have a website where you can sign up for the program, and I just go deep into it and I let them know what the benefits they can get from it. Say if you reduce your stress level, you will sleep better at night. You will also be able to have a clear mind and be focused, more clarity when in your thought process when you're trying to think about things or be more creative. You'll have more clarity for that. You'll also lose weight with my stress management program, with the Stress Eliminator program. That program is designed to help you lose weight. If you are struggling with your weight and you've been wanting to lose weight, tighten up, tone up, slim down, this program will be great for you. Also, I have coaching sessions where when you sign up, you get free coaching sessions from me, where you get to have access to me when you need me. And I will coach you on whatever it is that you're dealing with stressfully, and I will help you to navigate through it, to get you on a path where you'll be able to see things and do things in a different way. What I do, I introduce you to new ways of handling your stress. So if you're the type of person that feel like, oh, I need to go get a drink, I need to chill out, I need to go get something from, the liquor store, I can help you to not go to that liquor store and do something different. And they be like, wow, I need this, but then they never sign up. So I haven't had one person sign up yet, even after I've been passing out these flyers and talking to them and everything. So what I had come to understand is that what I do is new. I'm doing something that is new. Most people don't understand it because they don't know they need it. Even though they say they need it, they just don't know it yet because they haven't given it a chance. People are so focused on routine and what they used to do and what they know to do that they're not willing to try something new. And we all need stress management. I had one person say to me, I'm too blessed to be stressed. That's just a saying, baby. Everybody becomes stressed at some point. Even if it's just for a short period of time, that's the kind that is give you the fight or flight. But if it stays there too long, then it becomes chronic and you start releasing cortisone and all those things that could help you to reduce your stress level is available at your fingertips. And all it takes is for you to say, I want to do something different with my life. I want to try something new to where I know it is beneficial and it's going to help me, not destroy me. So you go into the liquor store to go get a drink, and that's is what you use to cope with your stress, then you're destroying yourself. It's not helping you to manage your stress. It's adding to your stress. It's okay to go get a drink, but don't drink because you're stressed. Don't drink because you're stressed, okay? It's okay to go get a drink, but don't drink because you are stressed. Drink because you want to be social and you just want to drink to chill out and just relax and enjoy the environment that you're in. So I'm going to end it. I'm going to end this message with this information. If you are looking to start your own business or you have just started your own business, hang in there, okay? Don't give up. It's going to be a struggle in the beginning. It's going to be a struggle. But at some point, if you're consistent and you don't stop, it's going to pay off. Try to find creative ways to stand out and be different from the rest. Everyone is saturating the social media. And then social media have a way of controlling who see what and when they see it. It's not cool because that's not what you want. You want everyone to see your stuff, even if it's not for them. Even if they're not your target audience, they might know somebody who is your target audience and can tell them about it. And that's the part of social media that I don't like because it takes away that from me when I try to post something and everything. But I'm not going to stop posting. I'm going to continue to keep posting. Eventually, the right person going to see it and share it, and then their audience going to see it and maybe share it. Now, am I trying to go viral? That'd be nice. It really would. But I'm not aiming for that because that's just a headache in itself. So the best thing to do is just be consistent. Stay consistent. Do what you love. If you're passionate about it, that's when it says that you won't have to work a day in your life because you will actually enjoy what you're doing and you won't be offended when you see social media being controlling and trying to get money out of you so other people can see your posts. Now, if you choose to spend money, then that's your choice. Go right ahead. But if you choose not to spend money, that's your choice as well. Go right ahead. But keep in mind that effort is what you need. Continue to put in the effort. Continue to wake up every day and get into people's faces. Talk to them personally. Those who are around you, ask them to share information about your company with others. So I gave flyers to my friend and I told her, hey, tell people about my business. Tell people about what it is that I do. And I can help them. And when I gave her the flyer, she said, my son needs your help. I said, what? She said, yeah, he do. And he just graduated from college. He's stressed out. I said, oh, he remind me of a client that I do have. And I said, I can help him. But he needs to want the help. And he have to be the one to contact me, not you. And she said, I'll let him know. And then there are some people that you're going to have in your life that's not going to help you. You're going to talk to those people every single day. They're going to be in your face every single day. They're going to talk to you over the phone every single day. And they're not going to spread the word about you at all. I have somebody that's like that. I do question the motive of this person. And I say, I just have to not take that personal. And I have to realize that this is my passion, not hers. So if she decides that she want to eventually start supporting me, then I will welcome it. But if she don't, then I know how far to go with her. And this is where it come in. My aunt used to always say, sometimes you got to handle people with a long handle spoon. Well, in this case right now, this person is that. I have to handle her with a long handle spoon. It's just what it is. But I don't take it personal. I keep it moving. I keep going. And I keep striving. And I learned that once a person show you who they really are, I believe that's who they are. And I stay in that lane with them. I don't take it any further than that. I don't incorporate them into my business affairs because they're not going to be any help for me anyway. Matter of fact, they'd be more of a hindrance and a harm for me than they would be as a help for me. So I just learn who I'm dealing with. And that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to learn who are you dealing with? Who are the people in your life that you know that really, truly, genuinely have your back and want your best interest to succeed? Or who are the people in your life that they want to talk to you, they want to be in your business, they want to know what's happening with you, but then they genuinely don't want you happy. They don't want to help you. They really don't want you succeeding. And once you figure that out, please deal with them accordingly and don't be surprised with anything that they do. Okay? So, educate yourself on your business. You're going to have to listen to seminars. You're going to have to get you a coach, a business coach, somebody who has been doing business for years. I say 15 years or more. So anyone who's been doing business for 15 years or more, get you one of them as your mentor, your coach. Yes, you're going to have to pay. Now, my mentor, let me tell you, this is a blessing from God because I prayed about somebody mentoring me. I prayed and asked God to help me with somebody who can help me, but not be so expensive, because I know some expensive mentors, man, talking about $25,000 a month. Oh, heck no. No. I get it. You a millionaire because people probably paying you this price. But one thing for certain, I don't have that kind of money to be giving out like that. So I'm just being honest. So I prayed and I asked God, help me find the right person who would mentor me for a very affordable price. And right after that, when I said that prayer, I got a letter in the mail that says, business coaching, small business who need coaching, sign up for the program, which was at, U of H, University of Houston. And I'm like, oh, that's reputable. I know University of Houston. That's a college here in Houston. So that's reputable. That's legit. And I looked into it and I said, okay, let me look at his seminars that he have. And I looked at it and I said, okay. And he said, for those of you who are on a tight budget, I have a package for you. And his package was $699. And I can sign up for a monthly plan. So that means I pay $114 a month for 6 months. And I get to have him as my mentor and my coach for 6 years. I say, now that's a deal. Wow. Wow. And yes, I have been using him. I call him, I set up an appointment, and he called me back, and I say, hey, I got a question for you. And then he give me the answer, and he tell me what to do. And he said, you need me to file some paperwork for you? Let me know. I'll file some paperwork for you. And it'll be at no cost to you because you already paid your program, and this is included in the package. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you guys, get you some help. Don't be afraid to get help. Get you some help. And don't let no one rip you off. If you know you can't afford what they're asking for, do not go for it. Just don't go for it. You can't afford it. So don't put yourself in a bind. Understand what you can afford. Now, I had another guy that came to me about marketing, and I do need some marketing. And when he was going over a funnel with me, and some of the things he was going over, I was like, I could do that myself. I really can, because I am tech savage. I do know my way around a computer. I do know my way around websites. I built my own website. When you go look at the website, I did all that. Yeah, I did. But I know my way around a lot of things when it comes, because I used to work for Hewlett Packard computers. So I do know my way around computers. Matter of fact, I'm one of the ones who helped invent the freaking cloud. When we first put in the cloud system, I was one of the ones who helped build that. And I did it for 11 years. So I do know what it's like when it comes to the computer part, the savage part of that. But I realized that some of the things he was showing me, I said, you know what? I can do that. I can do that myself. I don't really need to pay him for that. But good information. Good information. Because now I know more than what I did know. And now I know what I can actually use. And so I decided to start building my funnel and get into it that way. Now, I do have another book that's coming out. So before I talk about the new book, I want to talk about my current book, The Stress Eliminator. You can get that book on Amazon. And it comes in ebook, it comes in paperback, and it also comes in hard copy. That book is used in the Stress Eliminator program. I use that book to teach you about stress and what it does to the body and how to develop coping mechanism and techniques on how you could use it to reduce your stress levels. So that's what that book is about. My new book. Now, this book, I haven't really given it a title yet, but I'm going to tell you what it's about. It's 365 days of words of affirmation to yourself to help you feed life into yourself, to give you a different way of looking at yourself. That's what this book is about. 365 days. So every single day, there's a word of affirmation. There's some words of affirmation, and it goes into details about that word and how to apply it to your everyday needs in your everyday life. That book will be coming out at the beginning of the year of 2024, January 2024, because it's 365 days. Then guess what? You have to get started right away. You can put in a pre-order for that book. Now, I haven't put it up yet for the pre-order. It is self-published because I'm writing the book and I'm publishing it self-published. All my books are self-published, actually. But I am writing it and I'm almost finished with it. It will be done and complete by the beginning of January 2024. And you can pre-order if you would like. Now, give it time to get up there for the pre-order. You can go to Amazon to pre-order the copy. But I will definitely let you know the actual date that it will be available for sale. Keep checking, okay? But just don't give up. I'm signing out. Layla.
Are you feeling overwhelmed and exhausted by stress? Introducing Stress Management with Imaging Coaching, your ticket to a calmer, more balanced life. In this journey you will be taking with us here at Imaging Coaching, we'll equip you with powerful techniques and tools you can use to conquer stress, regain control, and transform your life. From deep breathing exercises to mindfulness practices, you'll discover the tools to relax your mind and body. Come join us on this transformative path and unlock a world of inner peace and resilience. Don't let stress hold you back any longer. Take charge of your well-being today with Imaging Coaching, your stress management team. Discover clarity. Defeat stress through Imaging Coaching at imagingcoaching.com. At imagingcoaching.com. At imagingcoaching.com. At imagingcoaching.com.